Hey gardeners, Amy here with Garden Up. Today what I want to do is follow up on this experiment that we started this spring with all the different potting soils. So for years I've been using black gold potting soil and it just wasn't performing well. So I was wondering if it was me or the soil. Something had changed, I don't know. So I tried this experiment, I tried multiple different soils, and I feel validated. It was not me, it was the soil. The soils we decided to use were black gold, B&G, Fox Farm Ocean Forest, and some Miracle-Gro, just to see how it would compare. Each pot and each window box got a different soil. They do have slightly different microclimates, which I'll talk about later, but now you can really see there's a huge difference here. Like there is a huge growth disparity between this one and this one. So what I want to do is talk about each pot, how it held up over the summer, problems I had with each one, and then I'll give you my professional opinion on which soil is best at the end of the video, so make sure to stay till the end. So this pot is filled with black gold. This has been my go-to soil for years, but as I said, it's just not performing well, and now I know I am not crazy, at least not for this. So the potato vine, nothing grew. It didn't grow in size at all, which is what I've been noticing for several years. The dioecia bloomed a little bit, kind of, but really it looked like this most of the summer. It was really kind of pathetic. The potato vine has grown maybe 6 inches all summer. The geranium is just starting to bloom again. It went for weeks without any blooms on it at all. The pentas, it was surviving, but it never bloomed, and now it's just wilting like crazy. I've been watering, so that's not a water issue. I don't know what's going on there. And the spike's a little bigger than when I put it in. So this potato vine, from root to the longest tip, is less than 18 inches long. And it was probably 10 inches long when I put it in. The geranium's about the same size as when I planted it. So that's black gold, and I'm really disappointed with it. At least I feel validated because it's not me that's having the problems. It's definitely the soil. So this one's the Miracle-Gro, and I'm honestly a little disappointed with like marketing compared to what I actually am seeing. So the dioecia did really well. It stayed blooming most of the summer. The pentas survived and did really well. The geranium bloomed most of the time, and the potato vine grew, but not very much. And the whole thing, it's filled in, but it's not the massive pot that I expected coming from Miracle-Gro brand. So the potato vine is 23 inches long, but throughout the summer there were several times where everything just stopped blooming and it really looked kind of pathetic. Now remember, I did not fertilize any of these all summer. This is purely the merits of the soil. So don't be fooled by fancy marketing. Miracle-Gro is not worth the money. So this one's the G&B soil, which is the least expensive of all the soils I purchased. And honestly, for the value, I am really impressed. Quick disclaimer, this pot was over under my cherry tree. So it's the one that's in deep shade more often than not. So it had that going against it. But all things considered, it did really well. So the potato vine, look how long this is. It's not full and bushy, but it's long. So it grew length. That's about 3 feet right there, and another 2. This one vine is 5 feet long. The geranium stopped blooming for a good long time, but it did have some more blooms recently. I don't see anything on it now, so that's intermittent blooming. But again, that might be because of the shade more than anything else. The potato vine, the new growth, is missing some color. That I'm quite sure is because of the shade. But look at the pentas. It actually did really, really well. And that might also be because of the shade. Pentas prefers part shade. But the dioecia, not so much. This has been driving me nuts for weeks, and I've left it purely for this video. So overall, for the price, I'm actually really impressed with this one. And I think it might be the best value of all the soils I purchased. So this last one is Fox Farm. And oh my goodness, it was expensive, but if you're going purely for size of plant, this is worth the money right here. So the potato vine is the largest of all of them. This thing is over 36 inches long, over 3 feet. We keep stepping on it because of where it was in the yard. Now, I do want to put a little disclaimer on here. In years past, the pot on this end always has the biggest potato vine. So I do want to swap the pots around a bit to kind of see if this same growth continues for the rest of the year, but I don't think that that was the only variable affecting this because the rest of the pot is also very healthy, whereas in previous years the potato vine was the only thing that looked even decent, let alone thrive. So also in here I have a dioecia in the apricot color, I have a geranium, which is full and beautiful and kept blooming through the whole summer. The pentas that I put in here, I did not get watered soon enough and it died. But that was water. That was my fault. That was not the soil. That's Fox Farm. And you know, if you're going for purely plant size, the extra cost might just be worth it for you. So this is the black gold, the one that we're testing against. Real quick, my observations on this one. The Gaura is actually the tallest of all of the pots, but it's not very full. So it got some height, but just not bushiness. The Lantana completely stopped blooming for a while, good long while. It does have one new bud coming on, but that's it. The Pentas actually did really well. It did not keep blooming all summer, but Pentas isn't supposed to, so that's fine. The geranium also stopped blooming for a while during the summer, but it's coming back nicely now. And the Angelonia is just awesome. Overall, this window box actually did really well, given the purpose of the experiment, but it's still not as great as some of the others, so let's check out the others. All right, so this one is the G&B potting soil. Really impressed with this one given where I had it. This was at the end of the row, which, to be fair, always gets the hottest sun, and usually this pot roasts and crisps up before anything else does. So it actually did really well. It held up well. I'm really impressed. I didn't get a Gaura in this one, but I got a Cleome, and it's really tall, and it's been blooming all summer, just gorgeous. The Setcressia is still alive, so I'm impressed with that, given where it was. The Lantana stopped blooming, but it might just be the end of the season for it. I'm honestly not sure on that one. And the Angelonia is just gorgeous. The geranium continued to bloom for most of the summer. Oh, check this out. This is a spent bloom with 3 other blooms coming off. But again, overall, I'm impressed with it for, you know, where it was. And I'm gonna adjust these and shift them around so I can see if the microclimates change at all. But yeah, I think this one did really well, given that this is the least expensive of all the soils. So this box is filled with Miracle-Gro. And my initial reactions, the Gaura did really well. It's very bushy. It kept blooming for most of the summer, so I'm impressed with that. The Angelonia is tall and bushy and gorgeous. The geranium bloomed for most of the summer, but stopped. Oh no, just stopped. The Pentas is doing really well. This guy did pretty well. It kept blooming. I left all these dead heads on here just to show you guys, you know, how everything was doing and that it did bloom all summer. There was a little bit of leaf scorch on the Setcressia, but that's just because of how I was able to water, the extreme heat, and trying to get a hose in here. Ooh, it's still blooming. And then this Setcressia just went crazy. So with the window boxes, the Miracle-Gro actually did really well, much better than it did in the pot. So this one is the Fox Farm, and holy cow, look at this thing. So the Gaura is not nearly as tall, but look how bushy it is, and it kept blooming all summer long. I have another Gaura over here, same thing, super bushy. It only just stopped blooming like last week. The Setcressia, look at the color on this. This is amazing. This Setcressia over here, there's a little bit of burning again, but that's just because of the way I had to water. I think the Lantana is really the thing that speaks for this box though. Look at this. It bloomed like crazy. It's still blooming, and it's just so big and bushy and gorgeous. Here's some more of those fuzzy caterpillar things. It had 2 geraniums in it. This one just went crazy. And then here's the Pentas that it had, just gorgeous, full, still blooming. All these other buds did really, really, really well. So yeah, Fox Farm, man. If you're looking for height and flowers and size and all those things, it might just be worth the money. So today is August 26th, 2021. This was kind of a mid-year checkup. What I'm gonna do now is put all of the boxes and the pots back, but in different places. So I'm gonna shuffle them around a little bit to see if their location and their individual little microclimates made any meaningful difference for the soil. So let's see how that turned out. Fox Farm is about the only thing that I noticed any changes in, and that it wilted faster than anything else. And I think the reason for that is actually because the plants were so healthy and they grew so well that the root systems in the pot were really healthy and big, and therefore more roots in the pot means less space for water, which means it didn't hold enough water. There wasn't enough water to keep the plants happy, so I had to water this one more than the other ones. This was actually my indicator that let me know when they were getting dry, because in the fall I tend to forget to water because it's cool. What do things need water for? It's not 100 degrees anymore, right? So my recommendation thus far, mid-year, is that the G&B brand is by far the best value for the dollars invested. But if you're looking purely for size and consistent blooming, Fox Farm may just be worth the money. But Black Gold and Miracle-Gro, don't waste your money on those. Thanks for watching that video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to hit the like button and tell me. And then make sure to subscribe so that you don't miss my future content. And also, if you have any questions about this video or have a question about gardening, something you'd like to see, leave a comment down below and let me know. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the garden.